Are we starting? I think we are started.
Yep, this started.
All right. Welcome back. So it's been again, we are clearly, oh, my throat. Excuse me.
We're clearly busy. Is that what you were saying? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's been 2 weeks of nonstop where every time we think we're going to record, we just can't get those schedules to sync up. That's okay. Today, we will talk about rec ball and how
Yeah.
to get involved, how to figure out where to even go to get all that stuff going. If you have tryouts, what tryouts might be like, kind of what to anticipate, at least from our knowledge. Other places might do it differently, but from what
Yeah.
we've seen with the multiple children that we've had going through. So, Brittany, how did you figure out where to even go to get your children signed up for rec, little league, softball, t-ball, all that good stuff?
Yeah. So when I moved here, I really didn't have any ideas of what these sports were offered around here. I know I Googled at one point, and there was Summit Point and JCLS. So there's two options essentially, relatively close. And then really my hairdresser had told me that here's where you should go, here's how you do it. So went online, figured it out. They had a website. You have to go in there and put your child's birth date in, and it gives you the options that they can choose from. Um, and then you put in all their information, and then you have to like provide a million documents.
Yeah, definitely. And again and again and again too, because
Yes, multiple
like
times.
each year. And so I was kind of similar. You have to like set it all up, figure out what league, right? Based on where you live,
Mhm.
like different leagues, might have the different lines. Some of them might care, some of them might not care if you live near
Mhm.
there. For Harper, not a huge deal because she went to the school that we live in that district.
Yeah,
But Delilah has been all over the place. We keep
yeah.
just circumstantial and just basically not for any kind of preference that whatever, like birthday wise, just convenience of us being able to get her to a school, whatever. She's
Mhm.
not at her quote unquote home school. So I
Yeah,
have to provide even more documents because it's not as simple as like take it to your principal and have it signed and bring it back to say that you
yeah.
belong in this area. Like it was, probably more extensive than getting my driver's license, I feel like.
Was it? Like, you couldn't just provide.
Like, it was my billing information, like
Yeah,
mortgage, proof
you
that
have to give, like, 3 proofs of
yeah,
residency or whatever.
yeah. I feel like it was the same to get my license, pretty
Yes,
much.
yes, essentially is. But I had to
And
do that
getting your
for.
license.
Yeah, I had to do that for my kids too, even though, I mean, they go to this county school.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
So it
is, like,
was
it's interesting how much you have to prove that you live in this
which
area.
I guess down the line, if that team and this is probably more for the older girls than it is for, like, your T-ball
Yeah.
team or your minors team, or lower team. Like, when I say lower, it's like the younger age team.
Mhm.
When they start going into like all stars and going into
Mhm.
playing in the actual like league, getting into what is it, championships or whatever,
Yeah.
you know,
The
those games.
All-Stars or whatever.
Yeah, I can see then you're playing other states and other countries that if
Mhm.
you're misrepresented, that could end up forfeiting your team. So they
Yeah, and I think
probably have to keep that base covered like from the beginning.
and everyone's just really competitive.
Yeah. Well, depending on your area, yeah, it can
Yeah.
definitely be. In which case, so they're like if they're in that in between age too, sometimes they have multiple options of things to
Yeah.
play. Like they could do so for us, I believe it's T-ball, which is boys and girls mixed all together. And then once they get to a certain like seven, if I'm remembering correctly, I think is when you can switch to minors. Cause I think that's what Delilah's doing now. Is she's doing minors.
So there's coach pitch in between those.
Right, which is considered like minors coach pitch. And
Is
then
it?
and then it's like minors player pitch. Those were the two
Okay.
options that Delilah had.
Okay.
And so coach pitch for people new in this, because when I was new, I had no idea this was even a thing. Coach pitch basically is the coaches pitching and kind of lobbing the balls to them. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's like the coach pitch player pitch where the coach might pitch a few or the player, like you might get someone practicing pitching. And then
Yeah.
after X number of pitches, then the coach comes in and lobs the ball. And it's
Mhm.
it's your coach for your team that comes in and throws the
Yeah.
ball just to give the kids some grace and get that game going longer than one inning. Because Delilah did that 2 years ago. She never did
Okay.
T-ball. She went straight to coach pitch. And that was like a wild ride. It was
Yeah.
like
I
herding
kinda was
cats,
the same
literally.
way.
So now we are in minors player pitch, which
Mhm.
does mean the coach doesn't go in the circle. It's just the player. But I think the player's up closer to the plate. Like they're not back as far, if I'm not mistaken, as like majors.
Um, yeah, so there's different distances. They would be at 40 feet, majors is at 43, and then juniors is
45 sounds about right. And
I
that's like
think it
high
is.
school, juniors, like
Wait, it might
14
be
and
no,
up.
no, 35 is where they pitch
Okay.
from. Then 43,
Feet
I
from
think.
like the
Yeah,
from
from the
the
plate,
base. Yeah.
which
Um,
is hard when you're starting out to get it go to the plate.
Well, and I'll tell you, I'll have to see if I can load some videos of this. So we get to tryouts, and
Mhm.
this was like last week. I had said I thought maybe because she was 7, she wouldn't have to do them, but her birthday cut off. So it was basically 8 and up, but she was still like they gave you your numbers, and she was like number 7 and then dash whatever number. And the 7 was her birthday. Not very many sevens out in that field, and it was 7 to like 9 or 10. So the
Mhm.
size difference between like Delilah's going to be playing
Yeah,
against some like older
big,
girls.
big.
Delilah is a shrimp with some of these girls. And I was like, "Hey, Delilah, you got to make sure that you're like running as fast as you can. Like, you got to keep up. You
Yeah.
can't just like, give up." Cuz in the past she's kind of done that when it's been like feeling overwhelming, I guess. Beautiful day, by the way. Snowed and sleet all during the week and then like 60-degree
So
weather.
nice.
The most beautiful day. I was still bundled up though.
I mean,
I still had a blanket on, I had my
yeah.
jacket on, chair I had my chair. I'm totally going side note here. Remember we were talking about how we scope everybody out
Mhm,
for, like, what they have, all their things? So
mhm,
I'm bundled up. Clearly, with a 7-year-old, like, minor league, these are gonna be fairly new parents to
mhm.
sports. It happened. They're like, "I need to get me one of those good chairs," and they pointed to my chair, and I was like, "That's right. That's how you
See?
do it. This is how we infect you all. We bring the good stuff, and then you all go on Amazon and buy it too." So, it was funny to hear
That's
after we
funny.
had just talked about it. I was like, "Yep, there it
Mhm.
was. You're welcome."
Yep.
So, back to the tryouts.
Mhm,
She went out, they did the throwing of the ball at, like, the shortstop and the second base,
mhm.
which she did fine out at. She only like, a couple times they'd get past her, like, the first few times, because she forgot that you have to, like, bend down and scoop up the ball, but after
Sure.
after doing it a cycle, she was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right." And she was doing fine with that. Then they do, like, the pop fly kinda things. She was just like Harper, where it was like it was coming at her, and she's like,
Yep. Yep.
jumps out of the way. And they were all like, "You gotta, put the glove up in front of your face." And I said, have dad help you with that." And she's like, "No, I don't think so." And I'm like, "That's not gonna get better if you don't have somebody help you."
Pass.
Yeah, pass on that one. She gets into the cage to bat, and the first she's got her like hip cocked out, and she's like just kind of hanging there, and she just sways. I was like, "Girl, you gotta like look like you mean it. You can't just like I'll eventually get there." But she did hit like 3 balls, so
Nice.
she made contact.
Alright.
Then they said if you we're at the very end. I was like, "Oh, cool. All right, getting ready to get out of here." And they're like, "If anybody wants to pitch, raise your hand."
Of course. Of course she
There
did.
it went. We knew it. We saw it coming.
Mhm.
We saw it coming. I
Yep.
was like, "Okay, see how it goes." So she claims she was the only 7 out there. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I saw 2 8s, and then the rest were like 9 and 10, I think. But if you consider, I think like 14 of them stayed to try and pitch.
Mhm.
Maybe 2 or 3 of them looked like they'd had actually
Pitched
done
before.
it at the very least they pitched. Do they get lessons and stuff? I don't know. I wouldn't say it was that clean and accurate that they do
Yeah.
regular lessons, but they've clearly been taught how to pitch, probably during coach player pitch.
Yeah.
The rest of them were getting taught how to do it, basically just the hand up and
Mm.
toss and then eventually like getting it through. Delilah was not the worst one out there. I can
All
just tell
right.
you that much. Considering this is like her first formal lesson,
Yeah.
and I use that term loosely. I do think if she puts the time and the work in it and we get her actual lessons, to just clean up the form,
Mhm.
she might have a
Look
lot
at
of fun
her.
because she's a sassy girl, and I feel like you need a
She is.
sassy girl.
You
You need a sassy girl in that ring
that's her dream right there.
to take control like that.
Yeah. I'm in
And as
charge.
yes, you know those girls. And when we were driving there, I had said, I was like, "Are you gonna try out for pitching?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I definitely want to." She goes, "I might try for catcher." I said, "Well, you gotta really pay attention to the game if you're gonna be a catcher. Like the
Mhm.
catcher has to know everything that's
Yeah.
going on." And she's like, "Yeah, I don't know if I actually want to be catcher." She goes, "Because then I have to wear all that stuff."
Yep.
And so she ultimately was like, "Pitcher is where I want to be at." So
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
excited
know.
for her.
Yeah, I am too. If it actually comes to fruition, I don't necessarily know how these teams are going to cut out. Like,
Yeah.
if she's going to be on a team and they're like, "Oh, we already got like 3 people, we don't need 4." Although I feel like with rec, they cycle in everybody that wants to try it.
Yeah, I think so.
You have your regulars that are consistent that will be on there to start the games, but usually by the last inning, anybody that wanted to pitch, they try to get them in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So, and since she's young, I could see her letting her have a hand at it, but I think if she's on a team with older girls, I don't know that you're going to see her starting any games.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's her first
Well,
year. She's gonna get her feet
yeah.
wet. She's gonna
Yes.
I'm excited to see how this goes.
I'll have to get some good videos. So I'll have to upload videos on here and we can watch her going through her pitch
I
style.
was so stressed out when Hannah told me that she wanted to pitch. It was like super casual. We like left practice and she's like, "Oh yeah, coach told me that I can pitch in tomorrow's game." And I'm like, "You don't know how to pitch. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You don't, you don't know how."
Right.
She's like, "Well, I showed him and he said I could pitch." And I'm like, "Oh no." So I'm like in my mom's kitchen giving her lessons. Like, this is what you have to do. I cannot believe that you're gonna pitch tomorrow and we've never even talked about it.
And you've played softball before,
I did, yeah.
right? So like
Yep.
you at least had some frame of reference to like help get her through. She kind of reminds me, Delilah reminds me of her, I should say, in the sense that it's like they watch, they kind of see what's going on. They're like, I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I pitched too when I played, but not like how she pitches now. Like I didn't have all these pitches and I'm sure I was not half as good as her. Um, but I was like, what are we doing? I was so nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, just as stressed out as I am now at the game, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause again, we're out of control.
Yes.
they're all in control. So you want them to do well. You want it to go
Yeah.
well. And it's like,
Yeah.
I Harper did a little bit of pitching, just a tiny
Hmm.
bit. She like got some informal lessons, from her coach. And I was actually at gymnastics with Delilah and I was watching it on Game Changer. And for those
Hmm.
who don't know, again, we're going to talk here if you're new to this. There's usually some sort of app or
Yep.
streaming device that houses like the chats to tell you what's going on, the calendar of where things are at, the check in that you're going to be able to go. And so Game Changer is what we use and it live streams the games. But at that point with Rec, nobody was videotaping them or recording them with a camera. It was just you're watching, it looks like an old like arcade game. You're
Yeah.
just like watching the little dots with their name or their number going around. And so I'm on there and all of a sudden in the center is Harper And I'm like, and I text Chris and I'm like, is Harper pitching? And then her coach texts me and she's like, Harper's pitching. And I was like, I wasn't even there and I was nervous as all get
Yeah,
out. Like
yeah,
I'm sitting there. So now I'm not paying attention to gymnastics anymore. I'm sitting here like on here trying to watch it. I have to drive. I go to the game, I think, because it's right by gymnastics.
yeah.
And we finish up and I have it like on the speaker, kind of trying to tell me what's
Aw,
happening. And I'm driving over there and I'm like, what am I missing? It
yeah.
is. You don't realize how nervous you get for them when they're in
So
there.
nervous, so
Like
nervous.
more than hitting, more
Yep.
than any position on the field, that is a nerve-wracking spot to be in, and then it makes me wonder how nervous they are.
So I don't think they get nervous. McKenna's normally pretty calm, but I can tell she gets nervous and she hides it because she like goes like this with her hands, and it's like just
I've
her
seen
nervous
her.
energy. Yeah, she does
Yeah,
it, but she'll never say,
yeah,
you know,
out loud. Yeah.
yeah. And it's to the point where like some of the coaches will be like, "Is her hand okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's just her nervous energy. That's all."
Because 'Cause I've seen that. I have wondered, I'm like, is it, like, tired or but yeah, that
No.
makes sense. And that's probably I could see where because she'll get in trouble sometimes with the whole tapping of the glove,
Hmm.
and I feel like that could be a nervous double tap, like, you don't go double tapping. I know that much. I learned that.
Yep. Yep. Yeah,
Um,
I've been checking my email today for T-ball.
yeah, I'm on here now looking. Let's see.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I guess we
Isaiah,
got till midnight.
yeah, Isaiah obviously didn't have tryouts because it's for T-ball. He's
He's nervous because there was no
yeah.
trap.
No, just because like it's new.
Yeah, well, you were saying that, yeah.
Yeah,
But T-ball's kind of nice because that's a very forgiving,
yeah.
like
It's just gonna be
yeah,
kids running around. It's fine.
yeah. They're kinda cute.
Yeah.
Although I hear from other moms because the girl who Delilah is trying to play with, they did T-ball last year, and we would
Oh,
always see them out the field, and she would be like, "This is the most, like, torturous event because they're just running around," and if you have an older kid and
yeah.
you're used to a nice smooth game that can get going with the kids, like, moving and stuff, and then you go down to T-ball and you're, like, trying to
Well,
just stay where you need to stay, go where you need to go, pay attention.
yeah. I felt that way going from coach pitch to player pitch.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because they're just walking everyone or
Yes.
then the coach has to come in and take over, but it's the
Mhm.
game just goes so slow when
You're right.
you transition and you have girls that are learning how to pitch and, like, girls are learning how to hit the ball, and it's just, like, so
Yes.
slow. I'm like, "Oh, man," meant, like, 2 innings or an hour and a half game.
Yes, yes. And then you're like, "It was 15 to 45." And you're like, "Well,
Yeah,
yeah." Although they do have the mercy rule. They do have the mercy
they
rule. So it
do.
doesn't there's games that I'm thankful for that mercy rule that
Yeah.
I think what is it? Like the first X number of innings, they can only get 5 runs, and then it switches. And then
Yeah, so I
after the 3rd
think
inning,
3.
it's like 8 or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that the first couple innings, it's 5 runs and you switch, which at
Yeah.
least that keeps it
That
moving.
basically gets everybody on the base
Yeah.
and 1 extra, and then you're moving on, or 2 extras, I
So,
guess. Did you hear that?
yeah, what was that?
That was thunder.
Oh my
That
god! I thought, like,
shook the whole house.
yeah, I thought, like, something fell.
I did too.
Oh
I thought
my
it was my
god.
house falling. That was freaking thunder. I
Oh
know,
my god.
my whole
That's
body
insane.
shook. Like, oh, it'll probably come to your house soon. You just wait.
It's thundering, but not like that, Christy. That was
Girl, I'm on the mountain. That was
oh my
God reaching
god.
down. I just wanna
Seriously.
he's like, "Here." He's guarding me right now.
Oh my gosh.
He's literally laid up against me. "It's okay, Yankee boy."
Yeah. It's so expensive, though, to
Yes,
do private
both.
lessons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if you're trying to do both, the doggy's
exactly, plus
shaking.
multiple children.
No, it's my house is falling apart. It's okay.
Oh gosh.
You know, if it's not one thing, it's another. Trying to do
I
this
know,
podcast.
I know. There's life is crazy. My God.
Uh,
So yeah, we're like getting back in the swing of things. Rec's about to start, travel's about to start. It's gonna be crazy.
I
But
know. Yeah,
we'll be outside and I'm really looking forward to being outside.
me too. I'll tell you what, I had a mini setup for tryouts because it was
Yeah.
just the chair, it was the blanket, it was my little cooler. I had my headphones on because I knew there's not much to pay attention to in a softball tryout. They just
Yeah.
are out there. And I don't really know these parents that well,
Mhm.
purely because they did a player pitch together, or not player pitch, sorry, coach pitch together, but I only really saw 1 or 2 kids.
Okay.
I think the rest are probably doing travel,
Yeah.
is gonna be my guess.
Yeah.
So I didn't recognize too many other ones. So we'll see how many teams that ends up being. They counted off, I think there was 30 girls that were
Okay.
at the tryouts. So, I don't know, what's that make, like 3
Free teams.
teams
Yeah.
ish? Probably. The older girls, the juniors were there before then. I didn't really, because it was the very end of there, so I didn't really take count on how many of them there were. I only recognized a few of them who were,
Mhm.
like, playing with McKenna and Harvard before, but now they're, like, in high school.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many teams they'll have. The majors had, like, close to 50
Mm, okay.
there, so they'll probably have, like, 4 or 5 teams, I guess.
Yeah.
That's just the ones that showed, so I guess that doesn't count whoever doesn't show.
Yeah.
Couldn't, I should say. Tryouts, for those new to this process, not that tryouts are mandatory, but if you can't make them, they do ask that you email them so that they can kind of figure out. I guess, I don't know if you go to another, I've never missed tryouts, but I would assume either they want to know how many years you've been playing, and just to be able to put you on a team because, sorry, I got dog hair on my nose.
I think the purpose is to like try to evenly distribute
Yeah.
the team. So not
Yes.
one team has all of the girls that have experience and one
Yeah.
team has all the girls that have never played before.
Yes. More thunder. I'm gonna be editing all over on this video. Yeah, because they even asked, and I don't remember them asking this before, but maybe they did last year and I just wasn't paying attention. But they ask if they're on a travel team.
But yes, they did.
So they do ask that question, and
Mhm.
my understanding would be to make sure those girls are all on different teams, so you don't have
Yeah.
one stacked team of
Yeah.
travel. To be fair, though, if you had one stacked team of travel players who've been playing all year long, and then you have a group, one team of brand new players, that's going to be a pretty rough game. Like
For
having
sure.
them play against each other. You're playing within your own circuit and then you're playing
Yeah.
with some surrounding areas depending on how many teams you have. So I could see that being like demoralizing. I wouldn't
Yeah.
like
For sure.
it's no it's no fun for the girls who've been playing forever because that's
Yeah.
not like a fair competition. And then it's no fun for a beginner girl. Like they would quit. I would quit.
Yeah.
If I were a
There's
beginner and I played against a team of like, girls that to me seemed like professionals, I'd be like, would do
yeah.
something else. But having them on a team with you if you're new is really
Yeah.
good because then they can be like a
Yeah.
mentor for you and they can help like kind of coach you through it and get through it and help them out.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to find out tonight the teams. Things that will probably happen, probably won't find out tonight.
Yeah.
And the Facebook page, which that's another way to find these leagues too, is Facebook. A lot of times they have
Yeah.
Facebook pages to promote what's going on. We'll probably see a lot of comments on those Facebook pages with the anxiety, anxious,
Yep.
where are the teams? Where
Yep.
did the teams go? Ma'am, I was told they were coming
Everyone's
out.
gonna be stressed out.
It is 5 o'clock. It is 9 o'clock.
Mhm.
Where are my teams? Yeah, I'm not one to post too much on there. Sometimes I can post some silly stuff because I just like to stir the pot a little bit. But
Yeah.
generally, no, I don't. If I'm not sure where it is, there's usually an email or I just wait because
Yeah.
honestly, finding the team out today versus finding it out tomorrow is not changing my weekend plans.
No, it's not.
So And they're gonna tell you what color socks to get, and they're gonna tell you what color pants to get and what color whatever to get. And
Yeah,
sometimes it's gonna be like, "Great, love it." Other times it's gonna be like, "White? White pants?
never white pants. I never want white pants,
No,
ever.
no, n no."
Ugh,
Not trying to clean them,
no,
not trying to deal with especially the older girl. Younger girls, alright, fine, but older girls, please don't. If you're a coach, please. And I know we've been in a scenario where we almost had white pants, and they did look really good with the jersey, but no,
no,
please.
no. It's just a no.
We have come this far.
It's a no. No
I
white
bet you
pants.
Delilah's getting them. I guarantee you, because I've gone this far. Harper has had none. I guarantee you, Delilah gets white pants.
McKenna, I think Mila did too.
Yeah.
No,
No.
McKenna
What?
definitely.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what teams like all these people have been on. Although maybe not though, because my mom's a thrifty shopper. She loves to like thrift. She and I'm a hoarder. So like I had 3 pairs of black pants that I had bought for Harper, tags on them. She grew, fit Delilah perfect. I was like, yes. I had a pair of Rip It, what do you call it? Cleats. They were like
Mhm.
on sale for $5. So I bought a whole bunch for Harper. I was like, here we go. Like if you
Yeah,
grow $5 cleats.
yeah,
Uh, she wore the same cleats until she like hurt her foot. And Chris finally went out and bought her like fancy, like Nike
yeah,
ones, which whatever, she wears them often enough. It's not like they're not being
yeah.
used. But then these Rip It ones were just sitting around. And I was like, oh, and I swear every day, like from July until December, I was like, I need to donate these. I need to sell these. I need to donate these. I need to put them on marketplace. I need to get rid of
Yeah.
these. They're just sitting around. And then Delilah goes, I want to play. And I go, try all of these on. They fit her like a glove. Perfect.
How lucky.
Right? I was
How
like, you
lucky.
got 3 pairs of pants, a nice fresh pair of cleats, and then my mom's like, "I found these white softball pants for like $5. I had to get them for D." I was like, "White? Mom." My mom introduces white softball pants into our house. But now that we have them, maybe that means we won't have to use them.
Maybe. I need to go get Isaiah all the things this weekend.
Yeah, because you don't have any hand-me-downs for him, huh?
I don't know. He needs
Mm.
cleats, he needs pants, he needs a bat that he can actually swing and not that are too big for him.
Right?
So yeah, we gotta get him all the things.
Trying to even think. We gave Delilah Harper's old glove because the glove she had was for a smaller ball. Because I
Mhm.
guess the coach pitch ball had to have been a smaller ball that she was using, I think. And if it wasn't, then
It's
her
11-inch.
so maybe maybe her glove has just been too small this whole time. I don't know. But we gave her Harper's old glove. It was like one of the strings was ripped on it. So Chris, like, he fixed it somehow. I don't know what he did, but
Yeah.
she's got Harper's old glove. I'm assuming she's using either her old bat or Harper's old bat.
Yeah.
I don't even know what she carried out there. The only thing we didn't have that we had to buy was a face mask
Mm,
because Harper's cracked, and they're like made of plastic. The ones that we
yeah.
got, we didn't get like the like fancy ones. Harper's had cracked, and only the gods above in the heavens know where Delilah put hers. I have no idea. Just went into the abyss. It's
Yeah.
gone. So Delilah has a new mask that matches her helmet that she had from before. That helmet still fits. So
Nice.
it's like the mermaid print
Yep.
that every child there had.
Yep. Yep.
You know what is gonna happen in that
Mhm.
dugout
You gotta
that
write her
first
name on
practice.
it.
It
Write her
comes with
name on
sticker
it.
those things come with stickers now to, like, put the number and the name and stuff on it. That's, like,
Oh,
new.
really? Yeah, that
That's
is
not
new.
you must had enough complaints. We don't know
Right?
whose is who.
That's
So
funny.
we told her we had to wait till we know what her number is, and then we can, like,
Yeah.
put her number in her but I already put the big cricket, like, matching Delilah on
Mm,
our helmet, so it's super up because her head's already big.
good.
So it's
Yeah.
like, you can't miss who's up at that.
Good. Good.
Distract everybody out on the field.
Good.
I love doing that stuff. That was kind of fun. I like that everybody's matching in travel, but I do kind of miss personalizing like the helmets and
Yeah,
stuff for Harper.
I know.
That was kind of fun, but it's all right.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Man. Yeah, so you
exciting.
had a busy weekend, tryout. Delilah's
Tryouts.
gearing up.
Yeah. Oh, musical. So Delilah's in the musical. We've missed gymnastics a bunch. Like it's been working out when there's a snow day and we miss play. We were able to go to gymnastics, but then this past week she only has a couple rehearsals left, so we've been missing gymnastics for the musical. So she's all excited for that. I think she's on stage like 3 times during this whole thing because she's in second grade. So like fourth and fifth graders get the main.
Sure.
So we'll go and cheer her on and it'll be cute. And then pretty much I can I already know opening day of softball is the closing night of the show. And so we'll maybe do the opening ceremony, go home and shower, put on stage makeup, go do the play. Because I I don't know about you, everything is always on the same day,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Everything is always on the same day. It does not matter what it is. These are 2 totally unrelated things,
yep,
musical, softball,
yep.
same day.
That's how it goes.
So I knew it was because like we got the email or I don't even know how I saw it, but I looked and I was like, this is gonna be the same as something. And opening day, and then I looked, I was like, yep, night of a musical. But opening day is usually early, pretty early in the morning.
Yeah.
Like the show doesn't start till later in the evening. So
Okay. So
it's just gonna be a
should
long
be fun.
day, but
Yeah,
it'll be
for
a
sure.
long day.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. It's
Mhm.
always cold on that day.
It is. It's also this is earlier than normal. Opening day isn't normally until the first week of April.
Yeah, but I think because Easter, like
Yeah.
where Easter falls, I think that's why. And
Yeah.
this is my guess. So it's already starting, y'all. It's already starting.
Let the chaos begin. Never gonna be home.
Nope. These are going to be the last few days that you and I are recording this in the comfort of our home because it's
Right?
probably going to be us on our crazy chairs sitting outside in a
Yep.
crazy field trying to like just chit chat while the girls are warming up in between games.
Yep.
And it's going to be fabulous.
Yep. It's gonna be so fun. I'm looking forward to it
I know, me too. Maybe we'll have some good stuff. So we're going to have good stuff to talk about.
for sure.
We will. There's
For
always
sure.
something to talk about.
Yeah.
We need more recent stories because I can't remember. We couldn't even remember what we were talking about 5 minutes ago. So
I know. So
it's a wonder
we'll be
we
able to
remember
talk about it
anything.
in the moment.
Yeah,
It'll be
for
good.
better or worse. It will be good.
Yeah.
Get some fresh
Yeah.
faces on here too. Maybe we can get a few
Mhm.
people to give us their take.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
I
Well,
will. I don't know what next week will bring. I guess we'll probably know teams and we'll know colors. We'll know if
yeah.
we got the dreaded white pants, gray or black.
We
That's
might
pretty
even
much.
have a practice in.
You're right.
We'll see.
We could be getting into the practices.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction. All of these softball practices will be the nights of gymnastics.
Probably. That's how it's gonna work.
And because it's preteen, I can't just like switch to a rec class somewhere.
Yeah.
Like we're locked into those days. And
Yep.
so every practice, every game will be on one of those days.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's just how it works.
yeah, it won't be the opposite days where she's totally free.
That would be too
Because
easy, Christy. That would be too easy.
we'll see. We'll see if my prediction comes true.
Yeah. We'll circle back to this next week when we have more
Yes.
details.
Yeah,
How
and now
crazy
that
are
yeah, how crazy are we? Maybe it'll work out too that you're at practices the nights that I'm at practice.
that would be nice.
Maybe we can even get together sooner than we think. So
I
we'll have to
know.
see.
Yeah. We're gonna have to see if that works in our favor.
Yeah, because I will be on rec duty. I could just tell you that right now because
Yeah.
Chris coaches with travel. So there's a high probability that we could be meeting up outside sooner than we think.
Yeah.
Or in a car. Because if it's cold, we're going in the car.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely. We don't need to be out there in the cold for no reason.
We're not unless they're crying, and even then, like,
Yeah.
"Come on, you're okay. Brush it off." We are good moms, I promise. We're good moms. We
Yeah.
care. We got snacks in the car. We'll give it to 'em after.
All this,
Yep. Even while she's trying out, I still had all the snacks. I was like, "You're not," because
of course.
pregame, you gotta eat all the snacks before you go out there.
Then you gotta have all
Alright.
the snacks with.
Yeah, when they're done. Yeah, because they made it through the tryout. Oh, alright. So I guess we will call it an evening. Get ready for bed
Okay.
because it is way past both of our bedtimes,
Yes.
and we'll see you all later.
All right. Bye.